I entered a Pokemon tournament using a deck people thought was completely dead. And this isn't just some small, easy tournament. No, the tournament I'm entering is the Ongaard Pre-Worlds Invitational, a stacked 16-person tournament featuring 15 other incredible competitors looking to take home a slice of the $240 prize pool. And then there's me. Coming into this tournament, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to run. I tried playing Charizard, Garchomp, Ceruledge, I'm ashamed to admit it, but I even tried Crustle, but nothing felt good to me. I couldn't find a deck that I really clicked with, and then it dawned on me. Why don't I just play my favourite deck? A deck that isn't necessarily good in this format, but a deck that I'll have a lot of fun playing. Who cares about doing well? At the end of the day, it's having fun that matters. And so I locked in Terrabox for this tournament. I've been playing Terrabox for a really long time now, and as a result, I've grown really confident with it. But it's considered somewhat of a dead deck in this format due to two key factors. The first, Shaman. One of Terrabox's most powerful selling points is just how easily it can abuse Wellspring Ogerpon's Torrential Pump to decimate your opponent's vulnerable board states early on against setup heavy decks like Dragapult, Gardevoir, Charizard and Grimmsnarl. Shaman, however, blocks attacks from hitting your bench Pokemon, and so these setup decks can just bench Shaman, and suddenly one of your strongest early game attackers is rendered almost completely useless. The other factor is the meta. See, one of the worst matchups for Terrabox is Gardevoir, and
then we're going to see Full Moon Rondo KO, they're active!
Here's the Bravery Charm onto the Drifloon, and that will be a concession from Henry Chow.
Isaiah takes the KO, and he is the North American International Champion!
Yeah, you can see why Terra isn't the best meta call right around now. So with two major downsides to playing Terrabox right now, why would I even consider locking it in for this stacked tournament? Well, I'm not playing to do well, I'm playing for fun. Getting invited to such a stacked tournament is quite rare, and so I'm just going to do my best to enjoy it by playing my favourite deck in the format. With that said though, when tournament pairings went up, I got a round 1 bye. Whilst there were meant to be 16 players, one person couldn't make it, and so I was given a free win in round 1. Going into round 2, I was paired against Vanessa on Raging Bolt. Into the round 2 game, we are against Raging Bolt. And yep, of course, that makes sense, she is going first. This is a good start though, I like Budew a lot. Budew is very fun. Hey guys, voiceover Caleb here. So Vanessa's just going to get set up here. You'll notice that there's no Teal Mask Ogerpon down, so hopefully Budew can make it difficult for her to grab that next turn and start swinging. There's also no Vessel for Lightning Energy, so she's going to need either Crispin or the Raw Energy next turn. Okay, so there's no Teal Mask. There's Ditto, that's very nice. Fan Rotom even. I think this gets like 2 and a Rotom. She is going to target these guys down next turn with an inevitable Crispin. Let's do this, and then we can do this and get you. And now next turn we can just guarantee the crystal boss and get the squad. I haven't prize checked. I have not prize checked. Oh well. I'm sure it's all in there. I'm sure it will be a-okay. So the vision here is that with Budew she can't knock out this Wellspring here because she would need Prime to make that happen. So next turn I want to go Boss Crystal, Torrential Pump, the double Hoot Hoot to really limit the engine on the other side. Over on her end there's a Sada but no Lightning Energy, and she also evolves into an Owl without a Terra, which, I mean, it's happened to all of us at some point, right? Oh no. Okay, now it's my turn to use an Owl. We will get Boss, we will Crystals prized. Okay, we'll go Boss Crispy then, because it looks like I'm going to get a turn with nothing happening. Again, I didn't prize check. But it's fine. Let's actually put Lightning to the hands, just because I want to have Sungrass in deck. Do this, let's do this, and Itchy. So in this position, the same idea applies, where she can't take a 2-prize knockout here because of Budew. and then next turn I can boss down the Owl and rip Torrential Pump. My hand's going to get Iono'd though, which gets rid of the boss, and there's realistically nothing that can be used to find me boss in the new hand. I mean, I can try Dig with Mew, but that's not a great option. So it's looking like I'm going to have to buy a turn with Itchy yet again, which would then actually bring the Baby Bolt in range of Torrential Pump, because it would have 30 damage on it from Itchy, and then Torrential Pump would be doing 100 to knock it out, and I actually wouldn't even need the boss. We're putting you down. Right, we're putting you down. I think we're putting down Clefairy or Piga. Clefairy or Piga? Maybe better to go Piga, right? Yeah, because then we can get Lightning, Grass. Yeah, Piga does seem very strong. And then we will go Lightning, Grass and start charging you. I don't think she can... Yeah, no, she can't. She can't knock out Mew here. So yet again, she's not able to do much on this turn. We see her play around the potential Torrential Pump incoming by pivoting straight into the Bolt. So we're kind of relying on the Mew to draw in something here so that I can actually get a 2-prize knockout. That's interesting. Energy switch feels bad, we'll just restart for 1. Dance. Churro gives me... Churro gives me Vessel, right? I haven't attached. Yeah, Churro gives me Vessel and then we can knock out. Let's actually prize check now. Let's have a quick look. I think I'm fine getting rid of you. I mean, I'm playing without Crystal for most of this game. Is this correct? I think so. And then we do this, and then we will go here and we will take a knockout. We still have the E-switch, so we can pivot and yeah, cool. Cool, so we've taken a pretty commanding lead here with the first 2-prize knockout. The prize map now becomes, we're going to boss Torrential Pump for 2 prizes, then Blood Moon can just close this game out, provided she actually keeps up with the prize race. However, she's just going to draw absolutely nothing though. Not sure what's going on over on her end, but her deck is just giving her absolutely nothing to work with for sure. Go T-Pump, pick out the... Are we teal dancing? I think we're teal dancing. The Iono's already gone from her side, and I still have the E-switch. And the Noctowl for... Okay, cool. Yeah, let's just Torrential Pump and take out you. Cool. So the game's pretty much over here now. The Baby Bolt is in range of T-Pump, her Iono's gone, and I got Crystal up prices as well. She finally gets to actually play the game to some degree, with Fez giving her some stuff, but it's kind of too little too late, and I just have game in hand. So it's Crystal here, and it's E-switch here, and it's attachments, and then I can just go to Torrential Pump, and we kill you, and... Cool. So we are 2-0. We are into top 4 now, I believe? Yeah, we're into top 4. Well, we're into the upper semifinals against Duskbolt, actually. Do I want to go first? Yes. Okay, that's a good start. Going first as well, I like that. The repeat. So we can go turn to... We can get Latias go... Yeah, I think we're going to do that. We'll go Latias get 2. And... Understandable. Let's do this. I could have also gone Ultra and... It's fine though, let's do this. Get you. Vessel. Bang. Bang bang. Don't give me an INO. Please don't hit me with an INO. Don't want you guys. Don't INO. Don't INO. Please don't INO. So Lucia's let me use her POV for the video. Go follow her on Twitter and Twitch, linked below. There's going to be a pretty solid setup over on her side, with an INO coming down to get rid of my stacked hand. However, it's worth noting that 2 Dracloaks were actually prized, which means if I can go Torrential Pump into double Dracloak at any point, then that basically denies Dragapult coming down for at least 2 turns in a row. There's this, and Area 0, and do we INO ourselves? I think we INO ourselves. Yeah, there's the boss for next turn, so we will just do this and then sob. And next turn we can boss and do our thing.
Chat, it's never been more not. It's like a game. We're playing Pokemon.
So we're going to see the board get developed pretty well here on the other side. As I said before, double Dracloak prized, which means this is pretty much the best board state that can be established in this position. I can potentially go for Boss and Torrential Pump both Dracloaks next turn, which would put me very far ahead this early on. The only other thing is I don't have much draw on board though, which is something that will really help me close out this game, because towards the late game, after I've taken a lot of prizes, my hand's going to start getting pressured by those late game Ionos. Neo upper, I think it's best, yeah, we're wiping the cloaks, for sure. So let's do this,
Oh no, chat, it's, oh no.
Yeah, and then we will Torrential, bang. And we haven't even played a Bluetooth yet.
It might be over, but it might also not even be over at all.
And now the problem for Lucia is that 1 Droopy and 2 Dracloaks are prized, and I've put myself in a position where I don't really have to make any greedy plays with a Sparkling Crystal next turn. There's no impending threat of a Dragapult, given of course that there's no Dracloak down this turn, so I don't actually have to rush into getting off a second Torrential Pump, which lets me save my Crystal, which prepares for the impending threat of Blood Moon Ursaluna, and it also gives me some time to set up the onboard draw like Mew and Fez. There's an owl though. Wait, I can go Crystal and then go 1, 2, and... Okay, let's go for Crystal, and for Ultra Ball. Actually, wait. I just need to knock out here, and then so if I go Crispin, then I think we'll do this, and then we can go Crispin for a Psychic and a Fighting. We're going to go for an Assault Landing play here. And we are also going to line up Boss for Moon Rondo. Are we Teal Dancing? Teal Dance could draw me Mew or Fez, and that would be very good. So we'll Teal Dance. any... Do we bench Piga? If we bench Piga, then we'll knock out. And now we need to see an Iono from her this game, at this time. So going into Lucia's next turn, the player was expecting his Blood Moon, Iono, and tried to make a comeback. Because the Dust Noir sent me to odd prizes, taking 1 prize here is actually better than taking 2 with Torrential Pump, because it means that not only am I going to see the 1 extra card off Iono to try break through Blood Moon, either by Energy Attach Boss Full Moon Rondo into the Fez, or Crispin Crystal Topaz Bolt. It also means that there needs to be an energy attachment to Blood Moon in order to be able to swing, which is just 1 extra piece that needs to be found. Oh wait, do I not? No, I need 1 more on the bench and then I just win. Oh wait, no, that's just game, right? That's just it. Sick.
They have E-Switched, they have Crystal.
Pause. Okay, so yeah, I'm into the women's finals now. With a 3-0 record, I'm now into the upper bracket semi-finals, and let me quickly explain how the tournament is structured. This is a double elimination bracket, meaning everyone in this tournament is able to safely take 1 loss. But once you take a second loss, you're fully eliminated from the tournament. Making it to upper bracket semi-finals means that I'm guaranteed at least a top 3 finish, with top 3 being good enough to earn cash. With that said, winning this game would guarantee me top 2 and at least $75 in prizing. No, we just pass. Cool. And that was a great turn 1. Boss. Okay. I think I overcommit, right? Wait. Yeah, Crystal. I think I overcommit for the knockout here, honestly. So let's do this. Let's get Crystal. Get Area 0 or Balloon? I think Balloon. No, because Area 0, then we can get Latias. But then this I can get Vessel, and then I can so Crystal, Balloon. Crystal there. No! What did I just do? What have I just done? What did I just do? I can't believe I just did that. Oh no. I had boss wipe the Manders as well. Right, so that was an unfortunate misclick to say the least, but luckily for me, as long as he can't respond with a 2 pros knockout here, this game should still be playable. Ongaard has let me use some of his stream footage to get Chinch's perspective of this game, so go check out Ongaard's streams as well if you want to see more of this tournament.
Alright. Seems like this might be a blazing destruction to limit the opponent's bench here. That could be solid. Either that or the TM Evo. Hey, yo, why is there a sparkling crystal on a Hoot Hoot here? Let me enlarge this a little bit, because that's kind of a small screen space here. There we go.
Let's think this out. Let's think this through. I don't want to do this because, yeah, I just want this in hand for later down the line. Let's do this. Let's get Fez and Dippity. This Fez is going to be very useful later on. We could do this. Actually, we could go Nest Ball. I think we're just doing this. He's played one of his 3 Iono, and I imagine there's like a strong chance he's going to have to play Iono to get Pidgeot out here. Arven, yeah, there's a strong chance he's going to have to play Arven here.
Okay, so Fan Rotom taking the KO on the Charmander, I think is strong here. It's able to just kind of leave a 1-prizer in the active and get ahead here. They're up by 2 prizes. At the very least, Jinch will be able to get Zard into play on this turn. But the question is he gonna... It looks like he's grabbing the Pidgeot so he can go Candy Pidgeot. Well, he's got the Pidgeot in hand. He goes Rare Candy Pidgeot, he's already got Zard in hand. He evolves Zard. The question is whether or not he grabs second Candy here to get the benched one evolved up, so he has just nothing but 2 prizers on board. Aside from the Monkey Dory. I don't play a ton of Zard, so my commentary here will probably not be as stellar as some of the other matchups. But yeah. A counter catcher here. Maybe to target down the Teal Mask before it gets into range to KO the Zard. That seems like a fair possibility here. Because like a Crispin plus Attach or Crispin plus E-Switch on Caleb's side would be enough to take the KO. The Area Zero is now active for Jinch as well. Probably becomes a counter catch. Ooh, onto Fez here. That does leave it susceptible to Noctowl being able to just grab E-Switch plus Crispin here and just KO this Zard with the Teal Mask. But I do see it. I see, like, limiting their available draw.
And then that is my... Stretches just gives me Fez again. 3-6... So you're getting 2 lamps for sure. There's Balloon. I don't see why I would want to play Balloon. Let's do this, and then this gets E-Switch, or this gets Nest Ball for Blood Moon, and this gets Energy Switch for the knockout, and then we can preemptively attach to the Blood Moon as well. Let's get Nest Ball for you. And then all 3 bosses still in there, which is good. Do this. Get you going, let's get you going. Fez. And that's Faz. And then we can go Crispin in case he tries to Grass to hand. Psychic to there, and this just means if he tries to Gust and Stall, then we can easily retreat and No, yeah, no, we can just go attach boss game.
A well-timed Iono could be super solid here. He still has access to the Pidgeot Quick Search. So maybe this is Fez, see what he gets, and then Quick Search, or maybe he Quick Searches for the Iono initially, and then Fez's to hope to get the additional pieces he needs, which would be Candy, Zard. Let's see. Alright, Chi-Yu coming down. Chi-Yu for a one-prize KO would be super solid here. It would be able to take the KO if he gets Candy Charizard. The opponent would just need Noctowl for Night Stretcher Boss to win the game, though. This might be thin it out first, and then maybe draw the 3 preemptively, see if he hits Candy, and if he doesn't hit Candy, he quick searches for Candy. That makes the most sense to me, at the very least. There's the Candy. So now he can grab Iono off the quick search. So Super Rod back in the energies. That way he can put 1 on the Zard and 2 on the Chi-Yu. The opponent doesn't really have a way to get Torrential Pump off this turn because the Sparkling Crystal's already been put onto the board. So that's not a threat at this current moment. It's probably just Iono here, I would assume. Or Turo to get rid of the Fez. Honestly, that's solid too. Yeah, honestly, super heads-up play there. Like, being able to just, like, remove that threat from board seems super solid.
So we're looking for an E-Switch and a Crystal. There's the E-Switch. No, an E-Switch and a Crystal, yeah. Rods in hand, Ultra Balls in hand. Cool. Okay, so let's go Rod. Let's put back one of you, and 2 different colors of energy. Let's attach here because that's very important. Let's do this and get you and you, and then that gets me you, and then we do this, and we get spin, energy switch, still win. It's so silly. Oh my god, I did it again. Oh my god, I did it again. Oh my god. I've misclicked twice in a game.
Alright. So this might be... I'm not fully sure how Jinch gets out of this. This has to be Iono into Candy Zard, I think. Iono into Candy Zard is like the only route that I see like directly right here. And he can't bench the Monkey Dory. If he benches the Monkey Dory, it's over. Ooh, yeah, that just gets Torrential Pumped, unfortunately. Yeah, because at this point, if he's torrential pumped, it's over. That being said, the Iono could make it where the opponent doesn't have the torrential pump because of the fact that he put the grass that he grabbed off Crispin onto the teal mask instead of onto the Wellspring Ogre Bond. So this is probably just using Chi-Yu to chip active for right now, because you're keeping it from dying. Yeah. Yeah, Mega Fire of MV for 50 seems fine here. Honestly, I would have put the 30 active for the reason of, like, chipping it down for the Chi-Yu to potentially KO here.
I shouldn't have tealed arts either, I think that was a mistake. Oh.
Alright, I'm just checking a message real quick. Alright. So Mega Fire of Envy for an additional 50, force them into needing to use an additional energy to retreat back into that Wellspring, which could get them out of the saw block here if they don't have attached retreat. But if they do have attached retreat, that still gives Caleb more time. And if they have E-Switch, that's even better for them, because they could E-Switch attach. Okay, Crispin, if they have 2 energy in deck, that's enough, but if they only have 1, they attach retreat back in and sob again. Looks like just 1. So they'll attach active and retreat back into Wellspring to sob. And now they're hoping for that last Night Stretcher in order to take this final 2-prize KO. Honestly, this could still go either way. Yeah, bossing back up the Fez again seems like a super solid play here. Jinch is such a good player. Literally every time I see him play, it's like an extremely high-level game. Like, the fact that he's seeing these outs from this specific position, which otherwise would just be like, okay, if I get Wellspringed, I lose, is actually insane here. Yeah, with Monkey Dory, he has it here. That's crazy. That's crazy that he saw that line. He won on this turn.
Max Belt, 100s, and Monkey. Yeah, I sold so hard. Whilst I'm not quite out of the tournament just yet, and this misclick did make for a banger tweet, I'm now going to have to play through the lower bracket semi-finals. And then, if I can make it back to the finals, I'm going to have to win against Charizard twice. Once for a bracket reset, and once in the resetted finals. Before I can worry about that though, I first have to win the lower bracket finals against Golden Go. So in this matchup, we have pretty much just one simple objective, which is to set up Cornerstone, and pass, and draw, and pass, and so on. In fact, we're only going to actually swing with Cornerstone into their Scizor, or whatever answer they actually have to Cornerstone. And we're also going to make an effort to not bench many of Mons with abilities. And finally, after a lot of draw passing, Sunny finally realizes that there's no way through this Cornerstone and just wraps it up, putting me into the Grand Finals. And with that win, we're into the Grand Finals. As I said before, I'm going to have to beat Jinch back to back in order to win this entire thing. But with the Charizard matchup being very favourable, that's definitely possible. Game plan into Zard is to spam Torrential Pump as much as possible in the early game, taking as many prizes as possible before the Zard can hit the field. From there, you can set up a teal mask quickly by using Crispin, teal dancing, and manual attaching to knock out a Zard once it hits the field. Blood Moon Ursaluna can also close out the game if necessary by taking out Fez and Dipity, and Burdew can be very strong if they win the coin flip and get to go first. If I can force Jinch onto odd prizes, Genome Hacking can also be an unexpected attacker to knock out a Zard in the late game. The game starts off pretty normally, but Jinch is only able to get down a single Charmander, which puts him way behind this early on in the game, as I'm able to take 2 prizes off the Torrential Pump and take away his only out to Charizard. Going into his second turn though, we do see a much better setup with a Buddy Poffin and a TM Evo into just a Charmeleon. But by giving me an opportunity to pull ahead 2 prizes to 6, with strong onboard draw, he's going to struggle to win this game. So I'm not able to wipe out the Charmander and Charmeleon this turn, but I'm fine in settling for a knockout on Shiyu and Pidgey. Denying access to Pidgeot is extremely powerful, as it prevents the opponent from being able to just search out whichever combo piece they're looking for throughout the remainder of this game. Over on Jinch's side, we do eventually see the inevitable Candy Zard, but with no way to establish Pidgeot, he just has to knock out the active Wellspring, which gives me a chance to win with Teal Mask on my turn. Unfortunately for me though, Research fails in finding any grass energy for me to manual attach to the bench Teal Mask, which forces me to just swing with Assault Landing. Whilst missing the knockout here is far from ideal, this lines up Genome Hacking Math very well and still forces him into finding a Gust option to take out the charged Teal Mask. Over on his side though, he does find the Arvin to be able to get Counter Catcher in order to Gust down my Teal Mask, which takes out probably the most threatening Pokemon in play. For me though, all I need is Crispin to be able to energy switch the Lightning off the Rotom onto the Mew, Crispin into 2 energy, and Genome Hack Burning Darkness to take this game. Fez and Dipity lines everything up perfectly, and I'm able to take out the Zard to win game 1 of the finals. Remember though, since I'm coming from the losers bracket, this win only resets the finals. It all comes down to this final game. Going into the deciding game, I'm given a not great hand, but a hand that I can still work with. Upon checking my prizes, I realized that I have prized 2 of my 4 Noctowl. Alright, I mean, I should just draw them later on in the game, right? I set up a potential boss Sparkling Crystal for Torrential Pump angle if Jinch can't get out more than 2 Charmanders, whether it be because one is prized, or he just can't find a 3rd one, and pass the turn over to him. We see 1 Poffin, and then an Arvin, for a 2nd Poffin, and he learns from his mistake last game and brings out all 3 Charmanders this time, evoing up into 1 Charmeleon and 1 Pidgeotto. In this position, I can still take 2 prizes off Torrential Pump, but it's actually better for me to just take out the Pidgey and Pidgeotto in front of me, which denies access to Pidgeot for at least another turn, and should make it harder for him to piece together his disruption plays later in the game. So what's actually pretty interesting is that I don't draw either of my 2 prize Noctowls here. That's fine, I should just draw them later in the game, right? Jinch is able to get a Zard out, and the Fez gets him the pieces he needs to be able to establish a new Pidgey on the bench for later on. At this point, I can burn my 2nd Noctowl to reach the knockout with Teal Mask, and then hopefully I can draw one of the 2 Noctowls off of the 4 prizes remaining, and then Blood Moon Boss becomes game to just take out the Fez. I decide to bench Pika, which gives me something to hide behind just in case everything goes south, and it also opens up the possibility of taking out a Pidgeot at some point if Jinch is able to churro away the Fez, and just go into Teal Mask and knock out the Zard. And where are my last 2 Noctowls, bro? What is this? Okay, so my last 2 prizes are my last 2 Noctowls, my onboard draw is pretty weak, and if Jinch can set up a Zard here, I might be in a lot of trouble. Luckily for me though, Jinch struggles to do pretty much anything actually, and just sends me down to 2 cards off an Iono, giving me an opportunity to take some prize cards and draw into my Noctowls. Suddenly, my position is really strong. I empty out my hand, daring Jinch to hit me with an Iono, and I actually choose not to take a prize here, as that would give me 1 less card from Iono, and would also give him cards from Fez to refresh his tiny hand. Jinch just has to use Blazing Destruction to bump the area 0, and I top deck my boss, meaning I am so close to having game. All I need is a Metal-Angie and I win this entire tournament. We spend a bit longer passing back and forth until I make a big mistake. For getting my prizes, I Ultra Ball away my hand, as if I had a Noctowl in deck, I could have grabbed the second boss and a Vessel, lining up game on the next turn. Knowing I have Fez in hand, Jinch finally caves, and Ionos us both, giving me Nest Ball to get that Fez right back, and, of course, passes things over to me. And more draw passing ensues, of course. This is kind of reminding me of the losers finals game against Sunny with all this draw passing. Jinch finally gets Candy Pidgeot before yet again just passing the turn over. Yet again, I too have nothing and just have to draw a pass. Jinch is finally able to go Candy Zard, counter capture up the Teal Mask and take a knockout. All I need here is Boss's orders and either Blood Moon or a Metal Energy closes out this game. Blood Moon off the top means Boss Energy is game. Not wanting to risk it, I pass yet again, meaning Jinch can't win the game here, since I have this board state set up so that he can only take single prize KOs and he doesn't play Briar. Jinch bosses up my only Hoot Hoot and knocks it out. Ironic considering my prizes, and now all I ask from Pheasantipity is Boss's orders.
All right, how are you feeling about that last one?
Oh, not too great. Obviously, it's $75. You can't really complain about it.
Yeah, for
But,
sure. Like you've played insane all night, I will say. The two Noctowls being prized was definitely unfortunate because like off of that Iono and then waited a couple turns to build up enough to be able to Ultra Ball. The fact that there was no Noctowl to grab was super unfortunate. But
And I knew they were both prized as well. I just I didn't remember what I drew off prizes, and I thought I must have
thought you
gotten
might
it
have
out by
gotten one
now.
of them, and then the fact that they were both the last two, so unfortunate. Games like that are always annoying when it comes down to, oh, my last two prizes, the two things I needed to take off prizes. But like, still, absolutely insane.
Especially because it's a
run.
pretty free matchup.
Yeah, and congrats for the $75.
Those prizes were not ideal, but finishing second in a tournament this stacked with a dead deck is really nice to see. With that said, check out Ongaard's stream to watch all the other stream games, and check out the other creators who competed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.